What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be bringing on Umair, the founder of MContent, onto the channel, and we're going to be discussing everything that you need to know about MContent. Now, we spoke about this project a few weeks ago on the channel, and I am super excited about what they are setting out to do. So if you don't know about the project already, or you're already an investor, you're not going to want to miss any of this video. Now, just before we jump into the interview, if you don't know me already, my name's Conor, and I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy sitting in his room. So nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. I just wanted to give you guys a great in-depth look as to what this project is. So without wasting any more of your time, let's jump into this interview. So welcome to the channel. First off, congratulations on everything that's been happening recently. You've been smashing through the roadmap. The price is really reflecting that. But for today's video, let's pretend that everyone watching right now has no idea about MContent, who you are, or anything like that. So first off, who are you and what is MContent?
Conor, first of all, I would like to thank you for having me on your channel. Starting with the first conversation that we had, I think we had this brilliant connect. The conversation that we had that day, I really enjoyed. After that, you've also been kind enough to do a video for us. Now I'm here on your channel. So thank you for that.
Welcome.
So yeah, I'll start with what M content is, and then I'll talk about myself a bit.
No problem.
So, so I like to define M content as actually a revolution, because I genuinely believe that this idea has the potential to bring in a content revolution across the globe. And when I say revolution, the most basic idea that people need to understand is that whenever there is a revolution, there is any fintech product or an ecosystem or a marketplace that changes the world, it's always built around a need which is underserved. There is always one need which has not been served, which leads to that product or that ecosystem being created, right?
Hmm.
So for content creators, there is a huge underserved need that has always existed, and that need is funding, right?
Hmm.
That applies to all categories of content, more so for filmmakers and indie filmmakers, as we usually term them, but also for people who are doing, web series, documentary films, people who are working on as YouTubers, people who want to do travelogues, travel the world, build some genuine content.
Yeah, exactly.
Every content creator needs funding, right? Um, I mean, like almost every,
Yeah, yeah.
unless you're a very famous YouTuber like Conor Kelly, then you don't. Then you don't probably need that funding. But yeah, 90% of them, they need funding because they have the capability, they believe in their ideas, and they're really good at what they do.
Mm.
But somehow or the other, the most powerful stories that they work on, they need funds. And right now, what usually happens is that these people, these individuals, they look for individual investors, right? So, for example, if one of these filmmakers knows me, he feels that Umair is a rich man. He's gonna try to reach out to me and ask me to fund his project.
Yeah.
Um, Whereas that's sad. In today's day and age where everything is globally interconnected, there is no global platform where a content creator can just go upload his pitch and expect to be funded.
Yeah.
So what we are precisely doing is that we are taking care of that need and linking it to another need. So the other need that exists is investors have this need to invest into things that are going to bring them high returns, right? So there are investors in the world who want to invest into content, and there are content creators who need investors.
Hmm.
So what we are essentially doing is just bridging that gap by building an ecosystem,
Yeah.
which is going to provide an opportunity for content creators to reach out to these potential investors who are based around the world. And simply put, this is our business, and we are using blockchain or our cryptocurrency, as we would like to call it, M-Content. We're using that as an enabler because what that enabler has done is that it has fast-tracked that entire process of development for this ecosystem that we're creating. Right?
Yeah.
Without blockchain, it would have taken us probably 2 years to build the same ecosystem, which we've been able to build in a matter of 2 months.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Crazy.
and
Crazy.
It's crazy, right? And
Yeah.
that is the power of blockchain. And so this is where we are. Coming back to the second part of the question, which is who I am. So I would like to call myself a marketing professional who is more of an ideas person. I've always
Mhm.
been an ideas person throughout my life. Um, and usually I've applied those ideas as an entrepreneur for the people that I work for. But yeah, this is actually the first idea that I believed in, where I wanted to be the founder myself.
Yeah.
And I've been working on this ecosystem for a very, very long time in my head, to be honest. Even before I started investing into crypto, or I became something like a blockchain enthusiast. Even before that, I always had this idea of an ecosystem which would fund content creators, because I
Yeah, it's very
interact
much
with a lot
needed,
of
right?
filmmakers. Yeah, a lot of producers, filmmakers. I have friends in that circle, and I've always realized that that need exists. But when I became a crypto investor, especially earlier this year, I realized that blockchain has this amazing capacity to tokenize any asset, and I truly believe that content is the biggest asset that the world has, right? So we need to tokenize that big,
Yeah.
huge asset, and we need to bridge the gap which exists, which is the funding gap, and that's how MContent was formed. If you want to know about me, I am a married guy. I have a wife, obviously, and I have two children. I have a boy who's 9 year old, and my younger son, he's 6 years old. And yeah, by profession, I've always been a marketer. I've worked with some leading broadcast groups as well. So I've been on the content side, and I work for financial institutions as well. So that's what allowed me to bridge this connect, basically.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and right now, just so you know, my association also is one of the leading conglomerates in UAE right now.
All awesome stuff. So yeah, the next thing I would just ask is the rest of the team behind the project. If you could just give a little bit of a background, like who they are, their background in the crypto space or any other sort of entrepreneurial spaces, anything like that, just so we can get an understanding of who they are. Because I'm sure you saw my video, but I do love to see like a nice team. You can go to their LinkedIn's, you can learn about them. So that's something that I love to see. So yeah, if you could just tell us a little bit more about who they are and their background.
So there are two kinds of team members that we have. There are some people who are working behind the scenes, who are working on the investor side right now. You're one of the people I've also shared our investment deck with,
Hmm.
because right now we are going with our seed round. And again, there is phenomenal progress over there. There are some leading VCs who are interested in investing into M content right now. So there are people who are working behind the scenes on the legal structuring, on the contracting, on the equity investment. And obviously, we have some founding partners as far as being the lead investors are concerned. There's already one announcement that has gone in regarding Planet N. Planet N is one of our early investors. Within the company, Planet N is a leading private equity investments firms
Mm.
globally, which invests into various fintech projects across the globe. And the founder of Planet N, Mr. Nadeem, he is obviously one of the co-founders of this company as well. Um, so those are the people who are working behind the scene, trying to set the legal business entity,
Yeah,
because we're looking at this as a very, very long-term proposition.
which is great.
Um,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, but the people who interact with the community, the people who are responsible for bringing things to the community of our investors, there are some key team members who've been involved. So I have with me here in Dubai, we have Tariq, who is a
Mhm.
marketing professional. He worked for some of the leading um, brands in regional marketing capacities, including Lenovo. He's the head of marketing. Then we have Rami. He's the head of digital and design. Again, he's based here in Dubai with me. He's been part of the team since day one, since we started this project. And then there are some, amazing team members that are not in this part of the world, but they're
Yeah.
equally. they're contributing equally to the project. You've spoken to Frankie. Frankie,
Yeah.
his full name is Frankie Farouk. He's our chief of token marketing because he's the expert on the token marketing side. Direct
Yeah.
looks after business marketing. So he's based in Canada. He's been associated with at least two other projects before, and he's very seasoned and experienced as far as this entire landscape is concerned. And one of the other prominent people that you also see on our white paper and our roadmap and even the investment deck that you see is Ryan. Ryan is our head of blockchain partnerships, and he is right now based in Japan. But
Yeah.
yes, he's from US, but right now he's based in Japan. And then we have, to be honest, we have lots of team members from different parts of the world. We have Johnny, who's from UK.
Hmm.
Um, we have a very very important team member called Kay, who is based in Africa right now, and again he's really helping us set things up as far as the connections with content creators in the African landscape are concerned.
Yeah.
Um, and then we have several team members in US. Our key developer, who's also our head of blockchain development, he's also based in US. But obviously, he's not one of the Docs team members
Yeah.
because he has a day job. But
Uh,
yes, he is fully Docs to me. He's, by our community, he's known as Enam.
mhm.
And again, very, very talented guy. Um, so he leads the development. So to be honest, we have a team, Conor, of 30 people right
Wow.
now
Yeah.
who putting on an average 16 hours a day into the
Hmm.
project. And all
So
of these people, they believe in the project. They actually believe that this tokenized content platform is going to take over the world in the next 2 years, and that's why they're putting their passion, their energy, their lives into this project. And hopefully, I'm very confident. And with time passing by, my confidence is actually increasing.
yeah.
That we've been able to build somewhat of a giant,
Uh-huh.
and hopefully we should get there.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is it's exactly as you said. It's ripe for disruption, right? There's nothing like it out there. And even like when I first read about it, I was like, it's the best ideas are the ones that seem so obvious, right? Because
Yeah.
we have all of the platforms where you can pitch your products or whatever it is, but there's nothing like this. So I always notice that the very best projects or the very best companies, anything like that, is always the ones where you go, why didn't I think of that? you know?
Exactly.
So yeah, no wonder they're
Exactly.
so passionate about the project.
That is so true. That
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
true.
And as well as the team, you also have a really large community behind you guys, right? There's 14,000 followers on Twitter, and your Discord's big and stuff, right?
Yeah, our Telegram is big. Discord
Telegram, sorry,
is,
yeah.
we have around 14,000 members on our Telegram, and
Yeah,
we have almost 14,000 followers on our Twitter. And to be honest, more than the number, Connor, if you ask me, the strength of this community is the fact that they love the project, and
mm,
that the fact they actually believe in this team, and the fact that they understand the true potential of this project. So
yeah,
there
yeah.
was almost a 3 week period where we were stagnant in terms of price, right?
Mm,
And our market cap was floating between $4 and $4.5 million, and we were just there for almost 3 weeks.
yeah,
Now, any other project that was launched on Binance Smart Chain, I can tell you it would have died. With 3 weeks without any price movement, it would have died.
hmm,
But we had a community that knew that eventually this idea is going to fly,
yeah,
and they knew that doing a lot behind the scenes. Um, and as you saw, it started happening. When our production started, our first M original production started, there was a
yeah,
hype that sounded because people realized, oh, they've got such huge people featuring.
yeah,
Whether it is Big Boy himself or whether it is the president of El Salvador, Peter McCormack. He's a huge,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
in the crypto space. And then from El Salvador, so many significant people, from the Bitcoin Beach Boys to the creator of the internet in El Salvador, and all of these people came together. Why? Because That's why I say content is the biggest asset.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did not pay I did not pay any significant money to any of these individuals,
yeah,
right? You, these individuals would charge, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be part of any content, right?
yeah, yeah,
But that's the power of real content. That's the power of real ideas. And that is why we believe that blockchain mass adoption and content has a very strong role, by the way, to play in blockchain mass adoption, because
hmm,
we feel that creating genuine content by creating genuine film, genuine documentaries, music, we
yeah.
are actually going to bring new eyes into this space. We are going to bring eyes of people who do not know what crypto is,
Yeah,
right?
I think an important thing there is with the new your very first M original is called El Salvador V's the World's Bank. And I think an important thing is the fact that to find funding for a project like that would probably be really difficult for any indie filmmaker or any probably any filmmaker out there. So that's really like the gap that you're bridging with this. So I think that's something, this is coming out what in September, right? So this month. So very
Yeah, yeah.
soon.
I've actually seen the first edit of the first episode. So it's
Wow.
you know it's a 2 episode documentary.
Uh-huh.
I've already seen the first edit of the first episode. We're about to release the first promo, which is the
Mhm.
real promo of the film.
Yeah.
It is I can tell you it is amazing. The production value that it has, this is I don't like to take the name of a future competitor, but this is Netflix quality,
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
you'll see
amazing.
that
Yeah.
once you see the documentary, once you see the documentary, this is actually Netflix quality.
And the thing is
So
there's nothing else out there. Like most people have heard about what's happening, but they don't have like an in-depth look as to what's happening because like we said, you can't get funding. So there's no like there might be a few YouTube videos out there, but there's nothing that's going to really give, what you're going to get from that. So I think it's super important what you guys are doing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So as well as El Salvador V's the World Bank, what's next on the agenda after that releases this month?
So on the content side, Connor, we have some amazing surprises for our
Hmm.
community and for the world, because what we've actually decided to do based on the success of El Salvador versus World Bank, what we're doing is we're actually positioning this as an entire series. And right now, I'm working with the producer of El Salvador, who himself is a huge name. The company is huge. So El Salvador versus World Bank was just the first episode, and now
Uh-huh.
we've got like 6 amazing, incredible topics that we're researching right now. We haven't decided which one of them is going to be episode 2, but we're going to get there really soon, and
Uh-huh.
then we will announce the next topic within this amazing documentary series. But just to give you an idea, some of the topics that we are currently researching. Again, one of the topics really interesting for any blockchain enthusiast is the story behind the unexpected rise of Binance and CZ himself,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's that's one of the incredible stories that we're working on right now.
Uh-huh.
And see, as a genuine content creator, when we produce something, we look at both sides of the story, right? And
Mhm.
we cover both sides of the story. That's what
'Cause
we did with it. That's what we
yeah.
did with El Salvador World Bank. So once you see the film, you will actually see that someone like BitBoy or Ben Armstrong was actually against the idea of Bitcoin being a legal tender,
Mm.
right? He spoke against blockchain mass adoption. He spoke against the idea, right?
Yeah.
So we will always bring that perspective. We will always bring both sides of the table in the content that we're creating. The second topic, again, that we're researching, it might become a part of our series, is this entire NFT revolution and how we feel that NFTs are going to change the world.
Yeah.
Um, and also to educate audiences on what NFTs is, right? Because most of the general public, if you ask about the general public, they don't know what NFTs are. They just know NFT stands for non-fungible token, right? But
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah, yeah.
What is and why is it the talk of the town right now, right? So that's a topic that we're researching. Then again, one of the topics we're researching right now is the rise of the crypto economy in Africa,
Mhm.
especially in parts like Nigeria, as I mentioned to you. We're right now we're researching the Ripple saga, the huge fight between SEC
Yeah.
and Ripple.
That would be great to
So
have a little bit more information about that out there.
As I said, some of the topics that we're working on right now are amazing. Again, one of the recent announcements was regarding Cuba. Cuba is also one of the countries that is now considering Bitcoin as a legal tender.
Hmm.
Uh, there's another episode out there
Yeah,
that we've
yeah,
already. Um, so yeah, amazing work. By the way, when I mentioned about NFTs, I should also mention that we've launched our first official NFTs.
yeah.
Uh, which are right now being traded on the exchange of one of our partners. And the idea is a BTS NFT. I don't think anyone in crypto has done this before. So what is BTS? BTS is basically behind the scenes, right?
Okay.
When you build a film which is good, which features popular people like we have, there are always some blunders. There are always
Mm,
some things that behind the scenes. They sometimes their tongue slips. Sometimes they have an expression that doesn't need to
of
go on
course.
air.
Yeah.
But all of that gets recorded, right? So our idea was, let's package that as an NFT, and
Uh-huh.
let's only have a max of 500 pieces of that. So we minted the first 100 pieces, and we have actually started selling them. I think from my last count, 15 of them are already sold. So anyone who is actually going to buy these NFTs will get an exclusive access to
Yeah.
the BT, which no one else is going to see, right? Only these 500 people who own the NFT are going to see those BTS.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So again, that's a first for M content. That's something that only we have done, and I'm proud of all of these achievements that the team is bringing in. So yeah, that's about the documentary. Now on the content side, I also want to tell you that this is not where we're ending. So we're also getting into other categories of content.
Yeah.
We are starting our first animated series, which is an animated character that we're working on. And that character in the future is going to be one of the most popular characters within the crypto space. I think I've told you.
Yeah.
Uh, so the name of this character is Alex, and the name of our documentary series is Alex Got Wrecked.
Nice.
Uh, we will we will be revealing the first cut of this character and its first promo, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. There's a lot of animation work that happens when you have to build a character because mind you, this is high-end animation. This
Yeah.
is Disney level animation that
Yeah.
is
Not
required.
stick drawings.
So it is being done right now. And the series is called Alex to Alex. Story. Alex basically is that he's a crypto trader investor who gets so much into crypto that he sells his house and his car and invests everything into crypto, and then
Yeah.
eventually he gets wrecked because he invests into the wrong project.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah.
after that, we actually built as an inspiration, and we built Alex as someone who's going to educate crypto investors. He's going to talk about different topics. He's going to talk about different cryptocurrencies. I would actually, my inspiration here through this series is to actually obviously build lots of NFTs because that's going to give us lots of NFTs. But at the same time, eventual idea and eventual inspiration is for Alex to be a crypto influencer and a YouTuber like yourself.
Amazing.
so, Alex will hopefully one day Alex will have his own channel on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome.
And so yeah, so we're doing some real fun stuff on the web series side. We have already started working on our first comedy web series, which is being produced here in Dubai. It's called When Lambo.
Yeah. Nice.
Again, interesting topic. It's a story of five friends, five traders who live in Dubai.
Yeah.
They're different nationalities, and they trade crypto, and they make a lot of money, and they drive some really good cars.
Yeah.
Um, and these
And when
people,
Lambo.
and Lambo, and they've got many characters. Everyone has his unique personality, and there's a lot of nice humor to it. So this is a project that we've already started working on. Again, hopefully promos and everything to be released
Hmm.
very soon. Um, but very very exciting stuff happening on the MC side. Also, we've already identified some shortlisted candidates based on the applications that we received. If you've used our tab, you should know that, we already have some amazing
Yeah.
applicants in there.
So just while we're there, the difference between MContent or Mseeds, just describe that a little bit.
Yeah. So basically, there are two categories of content that we will create. One is M seeds and one is M originals.
Hmm.
So M original content that we produce ourselves, that we monitor ourselves, that are ideas that we come up with ourselves. So obviously, it's going to be, in terms of quality, it's going to be a notch above the content that is going to be created by applicants.
Yeah.
Um, but as you know, our central idea of the CCF, the Content Creators Fund, it revolves around the applicants, right?
Hmm.
Because the applicants they need money. So 70% of the funds being accumulated in the CCF. By the way, we have $2 million in there right now.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
about to say. Yeah, it's doing so well already.
So 70% of the funds get allocated to MC applicants, and
Hmm.
30% of them we use for our originals,
Hmm.
because originals are what create our brand, which position us as a leading OTT player in the future, bring us content that is exclusive, that is high end. Whereas MCs are content that is going to be created by these indie filmmakers and content
Hmm.
creators, which we're going to fund. Eventually, we will guide them. We're creating a committee of mentors, global mentors, who are going to help improve the quality of this content. But again, it is being featured and listed as MCs because we understand as some of these content creators will slowly and gradually they will come up the curve. So it's not content that we would, from a branding perspective, we would like
Yeah.
to directly. So
Hmm.
that's the difference.
And then
That's
and
the core.
then this is where people can go onto the app and give their elevator pitch, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think that's the exciting part, right? So you can just download the app and you can give your pitch.
Yeah, so and I would like to, through the courtesy of your channel, I would actually like to announce to every content creator, every filmmaker, regardless of what category they are, this is your opportunity. We have more than $2 million sitting in a wallet, which is supposed to be allocated to deserving content creators. So we have a beta app which is live. Our final platform is hopefully going to be released in December, which is going to be a tokenized platform. Again, I will talk about the functionalities of that platform. It is just huge. It is something that has not been done ever before. But the beta app is live. You just need to go download the app, submit your application, and put in your elevator page. Just tell the community of investors why they should invest into your project and into you,
Yeah.
and then we will have votes. We will have some mentors review your application, and if you qualify, you get the funds and you start producing your content. So this is how exciting it is.
Yeah.
We
Well,
already.
that's everyone's call to action right now. If you've been waiting to produce some awesome film, the link's going to be down there. You can download the app, you can do your elevator pitch, and maybe we can talk about you next time you come on the channel.
Yeah. So just to add to that, in mid-September, we are planning our first video AMA, where we're going to invite around 4 shortlisted applicants.
Hmm.
Out of those 4 shortlisted applicants, we will also have some of our mentors in there and some guests, some celebrities. We will also like to invite you, Conor, if you are available.
Yeah.
And in that session, then we will select 2 content creators, the first 2 content creators that get funded by MCs. And that entire process is going to be done live in front of the community. So yeah, you still have time. You still have around about 10 days
Yeah.
if you want to participate in this round of seeding. But some really exciting content creators there on the app. You can go and see them now. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's real things are happening. I think you spoke briefly about the price, and I think the reason why nothing died, exactly what you were saying, is there's real things happening, right? Because there's so many projects out there that nothing at all is happening. It's all just ideas. And at the end of the day, this could have just been an idea that you were saying you were going to do, right? But it's already happening. So I think that's the most, for me anyway, that's the most exciting thing. I'm seeing real things happening. And like to have an app where if you are a content creator who's either, maybe just out of school or you're used to making content, whatever it is, it's something that you can actually do right now. And there is literally $2 million waiting for you. So it's such an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's true. And this idea, Connor, and I would like to add to the fact that this idea has become so viral. So yesterday I was reading an article about someone, some family in Hollywood. They're trying to replicate the same idea, right?
Mhm.
So it's becoming so viral that now people are drawing attention towards this idea that, oh,
Yeah.
wow, why don't we do something like but yeah, I would like to also, by virtue of your channel, I should also give a message to all of those people who are now trying to copy us is that, we have some of the leading VCs right now looking at us. And, hopefully within the next week to 10 days, we will close some transactions that are happening. And the day that happens, we will be able to build scale that no one will be able to replicate us. Or
Yeah.
even if they do replicate, we would have had that first mover, second mover, and fifth mover advantage, and they will be they will be at number six.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's amazing, the kind of progress that is happening. There are some global brands, by the way, right now, which are, and I wouldn't want to take the name of the brands because obviously there are some disclosure agreements, but
Hmm.
there are global brands who have innovation funds. These brands are planning to invest into M content right now, as an entity. So
Hmm.
so yeah, some of the things that are happening, are so
Yeah.
exciting that don't let me sleep at night.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah.
exciting stuff. So just let's move away from from the content a little bit here and just talk about the cryptocurrency itself. So I know in my last video I did speak about the high supply of coins, right? So we wanted to discuss your thought process behind that because you actually spoke to me briefly on email and it made perfect sense. So if you just want to explain why you chose to go with the very high supply in comparison to, let's say, something like Bitcoin or something.
Yeah. So basically, Connor, when you try and tokenize a content platform, there is nothing like us that exists out there. On the funding side, on the content funding side, obviously there's nothing that exists like us. But there is a content platform. I would like to call it somewhat of a content platform that already exists, and it's a very famous project called Theta.
Hmm.
Theta, right? I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
So they also have a platform which is tokenized. Our ultimate objective, the platform that we're launching, which was initially in our roadmap, it was supposed to be launched in January, the full platform, the web and app platform, which will have all the functionalities, which will you will be able to connect your wallet into the platform while streaming content, while uploading content, you will have monetization happening on the platform, right? And it's the most upscale and complex platform that anyone in the blockchain has ever imagined,
Yeah.
on the content that we're working on. It's amazing. But if I see there is anyone who's done something similar to us, it's Theta, because, they have a content streaming platform for largely for sports professionals who have their content being streamed there. And then, they get tokenized in terms of rewards that they generate by the audience when the audience watches their content. So whenever you do a platform, a content platform that is tokenized, you need to have a token which becomes the currency, which becomes
Mm.
the exchange, right? which gets utilized as the utility within that platform. Now you have two options. Either you do what Theta did, which was to launch an alternate utility token because they launched T-Fuel,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
In the current or in your original currency, you actually have so much supply that you are able to manage the monetization through that supply.
Hmm.
And at the same time, you create an earn and burn mechanism whereby the price of the token goes up very rapidly because there is an inherent earn and burn mechanism in the entire revenue model. Um, and so, for example, just so you understand, obviously, right now we've burnt almost 39% of the supply, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you go as per our business plan, every content project that is being created, every time making revenue, now there are four lines of revenue that we have. The first line of revenue is syndication, right?
Hmm.
So, right, for example, for El Salvador versus World Bank, they're also already talking to some of the leading OTT platforms in the world. They want to acquire this content from us, right? They're going to pay some money, which is revenue.
Yeah.
The second source of revenue is the NFTs that we're minting. The third source of revenue is monetization that we will eventually have on our own platform. And the fourth source of revenue is alternate syndication, which is, trading your content into multiple languages and then,
Yeah.
throwing it, distributing it to multiple regions in the world. With all of these four sources of revenue, what we are doing, what we have fundamentally agreed, is that 50% of every revenue goes back into the token. How does it go back into the token? Is with that money, with that US dollar, we actually buy tokens from the market,
Okay.
right? And we burn them, right?
Okay.
So every time there is a profit, we buy, we burn. So some of the estimations based on the business model that we've created, um, I know it's an alarming and an amazing figure, but by the end of December next year, which is December 2022, we would have already burned 92% of our supply.
Ah, wow.
So,
Nice.
so, and this is based on the modeling that we've done. How much content are we creating? How
Yeah.
much funds are growing into the CCF? Because the more funds we have into the CCF, the more content gets produced, right? The more
Yeah.
content gets produced, the more syndication happens. The more syndication happens, the more revenue comes. And the more revenue comes, the more burn happens.
Yeah.
So it's such an inclusive model at the end of the day that the amount of burns that are happening are going to blow people apart, and
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
that's going to result in ROI for our stakeholders, which is
For
our
sure.
investors,
Yeah.
right?
You need to get some
So
t-shirts with earn and burn.
yeah, yeah. So if I had a limited supply, how would I burn? If I had
Yeah.
if I had a lower supply, as they say, then how would I use that supply for the monetization aspect on the
Mm.
platform, right?
Yeah, totally.
So those were the considerations that we had when we decided to launch.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
Mhm.
So everything that I had to cover, we have covered so far. So if there's anything else you want to get out there, feel free to let the viewers know. But yeah, everything sounds, honestly, as I said, I found the project, I thought everything was very interesting, a new bridge for content creators, which is something that is definitely needed, and it's an industry that's ripe for disruption. So that's why I like you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, towards the end of it, I would like to tell the community that there are some amazing announcements that are upcoming in the next couple of weeks, which include some board members that we have recently signed. So we're building a board of directors for
Hmm.
content. Some of the names that we will reveal hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Again, these are global names. We've also created our mentors committee. We've already started working on building the names and coming up with the agreement. So we will be revealing some of our mentors also shortly. Again, as you said, that is real world progress that is happening, and
Exactly.
and we like to share these updates with the community, because the stronger board of directors we have, the stronger committee of mentors we have, we are able to produce better content, right? We
Hmm.
are able to guide content creators better, and we are able to generate more revenues for our community of investors. And that is what we are working on. We are right now, just for people to know, we are right now having 2 sessions a week with the software house that is working on our platform. And again, that's a global software house. They have offices across the globe,
Yeah.
and these people is that what they do. So we have 2 sessions a week, just from a design and ideation perspective. We monitor their progress, they share updates with us, we add value. And a team of almost 8 people from MContent attends both of these sessions every week.
Hmm.
And the way the platform is developing, I can assure you that in December, once we reveal the platform, people are going to be extremely, extremely excited. And if Theta, and again, I like to quote Theta because that's the only other tokenized platform of
Yeah.
content that I see. Um, so if Theta right now is sitting at a market cap of 8 billion with the platform that they have created, I can tell you that our platform is going to be 10x in terms of the functionality that we will have on our platform.
Yeah.
And so I do not obviously like to speculate on what the
Of
market cap
course.
is
Yeah.
going in time. But I think people are smart enough, and some of our investors who actually believe in them content are smart enough to work
Hmm.
out the numbers. We will be at that point in time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's probably one of the last messages that I wanted to talk about. Anything else from your side? I'd be happy to
Well,
answer.
my stance. I'm super excited about the project. I've said pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited. It looks like things are really, happening for you guys. So it's just from here on out, we wait, we see the first M content original, and then we go from there. I'm excited.
By the weekend, we will be releasing the actual promo of the content. The actual
Amazing.
promo of the content is releasing this weekend.
Yeah.
I've actually also seen the first cut of the first episode, as I told you.
Yeah.
There are some changes happening, minor change, but it is amazing. It is just incredible, you know.
Yeah.
And especially with last week, there's a lot of focus globally on the El Salvador topic. You saw there were some protests as well. So, you know,
Mm.
we're so glad that we actually covered both sides of the story in the
Yeah.
content. But the community will love it once we reveal the promo this weekend. Um, so yeah, and you also saw on the partnership side, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but we were actually, you know, one of the first partners that were listed on the SafeMoon wallet as well.
Yeah, I did
Um,
see. Yeah. Very nice.
you know, obviously, I believe that within the entire space, people are starting to realize the value of M content. People are starting to realize that there is a genuine team behind this project, and there is genuine inspiration. There is genuine financial support as well backing us, because at the end of the day, financial support is the most important thing, right?
Exactly.
And which is reflecting in terms of the numbers. If we look at the trade volume, we have a daily trade volume right now of $2 million. We have $1 million being traded only on Bitmart. You know,
Yeah.
Bitmart alone, we have a daily trade volume of $1 million, which is actually, you know,
It's
at times higher some of the biggest projects. And to be honest, I asked when they reached out to us, offering us to list on their wallet, I asked the co-founder of SafeMoon, you know, why did they select us?
yeah.
So, you know, then eventually later on, I found out that, you know, they got the recommendation from our exchange where we are
Ah.
listed on.
Yeah.
And the recommendation was based on our volume because we were
Amazing.
the, you know, the highest volume project.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so that's how it works. See, I tend to believe that, you know, and I'm a believer, and I believe the fact that when you put your genuine effort into something and you have the right intentions and you do it, you know, with your heart and your soul behind that, and somehow or the other, you know, things start happening for you,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what is happening with M
Yeah.
content. I've been, if you ask me, I've been so lucky, Connor, in terms of the team members who've joined in, you know, all the people who start supporting us. Today, I met an individual who is a huge name. You know, he is a huge name in the global content landscape. You know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't like, you know, and he's someone, when I started my career, he was someone that I used to, you know, think about that, you know, will I ever be like him,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
And he looked at our project and he gave me like a couple of hours today. And I'm not obviously going to quote the investment that he's doing, but the words that he had was that I have never seen, you know, and he's someone who reviews, you know, fintech projects and
Yeah.
new things coming up all the time. And he said, I have not seen something like this in the past 1 decade, you know.
Yeah.
So, so it's like things are happening. I didn't approach him myself. Someone referred me to him, you know, and I had a call with him, and then I explained him where we are at, and you know, the response that we got was phenomenal. And that's happening all around. I feel like that's happening all around. I feel like, you know, there are some supernatural forces that are
Yeah.
trying to make an success. So that's amazing. That's incredible. I think it all boils down to the intention of the team members and the hard work, because I believe that hard work gets rewarded. So
Well, you heard it here first. Hard work gets rewarded. I like it. So, I mean, we've covered everything. It's been amazing having you on the channel again. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for stopping by. And if you guys want any of the things that we've discussed today, the links, anything you need will be down there in my description. So there's everything that you need to know about M content. Like I said, every single link that you'll need will be down there in the description. If you have any questions, do let me know down in the comment section. And remember, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. You need to go out and do your own research before making any form of investment. With all of that said, hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Whoosh.